The zombie gaming franchise has blessed us with a plethora of media. These include Dying Light, Left 4 Dead, Dead Rising, Dead Space, The Walking Dead. But not one of these zombie games was good enough to get a zombie show. Not until The Last of Us, the most controversial video game adaptation that is out right now. And for those of you asking why is the show so controversial, one word. I'm gonna be a dad. Yay! So in this video, I will go through every single controversial moment. I will clown almost every single stupid character, and I might be an asshole. And don't worry, if you live under a rock and have never played the game or even watched the show, I got you, bruh. I'll break it down for you. The controversy in The Last of Us is mainly off Season 2, which is based off The Last of Us Part 2. And I will be making comparisons to the Part 2 video game as well. But just to let you know, I never played the game, okay? How are you gonna make comparisons when you've never played the game? Something called research, bruh. Believe it or not, this TV show is the first time I'm experiencing The Last of Us Part 2. So I know I might have some biases or my perspective might be warped. So, is this show a good adaptation? Is this show a good show? Let's get into the controversy. When I saw this behemoth lesbians video game poster for the first time, I was like, when did butch lesbians start taking steroids? But it turned out she wasn't a lesbian, but she still needs to get her butch ass off the steroids. Anyway, so in the video game, she is on copious amounts of testosterone therapy, which gives her this very Brock Lesnar-like appeal. With cannons as biceps, shoulders like boulders, her bosom as hard as stone. But in the TV show, they're like, why is this chick's hormones off the charts? Fuck these muscular women and bring back pretty little dainty girls. And that pissed everybody that played the games off. And if you're like me and didn't actually play The Last of Us Part 2, then you probably didn't give a shit if she was muscular or not. But someone did make a very valid but nerdy point about her muscles being important to her character. The point goes something along the lines of, bro, her muscles are very important to her character because they show how much trauma she went through, the training she had to endure because of the man that killed her father. And I'm like, wow, what an excellent point, you nerd. But let me introduce a counterpoint. Take a look around you, bro. Do you see any brolic Brock Lesnar bitches running about? No! It's impossible, bro. Please name some if you can, but at this moment in time, I can only think of 4 big body bitches. One of them can't act, one of them can't act anymore. The other's an influencer, the other can act, but she's fucking black. It's like trying to find flipping unicorns, bro. Like, bro, I'm telling you, if you can find a suitable Abby replacement with someone who's got the same build and can act, I will give you a fucking pat on the back, bro. But at this moment in time, I don't think the casting is that bad. In fact, I think most of them are alright. But I gotta talk about the casting that made this show controversial in the first place. So this chick was casted to play Ellie in the TV show adaptation, and ever since this chick got announced, everybody got their big red nose on and started clowning this chick, bro, for real. I'm hearing the chopped of us, the hydrocephalus of us, the Thomas the Tank Engine of us, and I'm like, damn! This casting is being branded the worst casting in TV history. If she was prettier, would she be getting less hate? Unfortunately, most definitely. As of playing The Last of Us Part 1 and I found out she was playing Ellie at the time, I wanted to chew on a bunch of grenades. But then she grew on me. But she didn't grow on everyone else, and that's fine. But in Season 2, it got worse because it appears nobody fucks with her. Why? You see, in The Last of Us Part 2, there's a 5-year time skip.
Oh. Why are these all
Ellie
stuck
goes
together?
from a 14-year-old pubescent, optimistic, happy-go-lucky child with a goofy side to a stern, serious 19-year-old woman. While Bella, the actress playing Ellie, goes from a child
I'm just fucking with you.
to a child. Basically, she's 2 different people in the game, but in the show she's exactly the same as she was in Season 1. And that's why people are even more angry than they were before. So not only does she not look like her, not only does she not act like her, she don't progress like her. So because of this, we have people saying, recast this bitch right now, and now we got people calling people pedos before the story's even finished. And as a TV show only viewer, I'm like, get out of here with the recast, bro. It's too late. Imagine I cast Chris Tucker as Will Smith in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Yeah, it would be funnier. Yeah, it might even be better. But you'd throw away everything you built on previously, bro. Which then actually kind of makes the show worse. Which is why they should have casted an actress that would have aged gracefully into her role in Season 2 without having to recast, losing your emotional investment in the character. Now, I'm gonna start clowning Season 2, because if I'm being real, this show was fucked from the start. So right off the bat, all her friends are fucking dead. And who killed them? The main protagonist, Joe. Do it again. But not only did her friends die, her daddy died as well. And she wants revenge.
slowly.
So some season 1 context, this motherfucker was entrusted with a girl that was immune to becoming a zombie. Girl could have been the cure to end the apocalypse. But he grew attached to the girl and he was like, fuck all of you, because the operation could have killed her. So instead, he killed them, and now we have a fatherless child.
We kill him slowly.
Her father was the doctor that was carrying out the operation. And let me tell you, did anybody care when they blew his head off? I do not know. And you see, that's where one of the main controversies that were in the game start. You see, can they make you care about Brock Lesnar? Can they make you understand Brock Lesnar? And can they make you forgive her? Forgive her for what? Spoilers, nigga, I'll discuss that in the next episode. In fact, they're so goddamn scared of the controversy regarding Brock Lesnar that they had to include a scene that wasn't even in the games, because they want you to empathize with her for what she's done. What has she done? Spoilers! Anyway, did I tell you the time I tried to DM Isabella Moner before she became Isabella Merced, before she became Dina? I thought I could accomplish the impossible, but it was impossible because I was moving like Shamik Moore in his prime. Sup babe, Ed. Accidental message, Ed. Story reply, Ed. That shit really was impossible. But if I can't do the impossible, then what the fuck is she doing, huh? She made this bitch ass nigga tap out. What the fuck? She's 4'11". She can't even reach the top shelf. Ellie. Anyway, that's just a nitpick because obviously we can't have an actionless main character, no matter what their stature is. Plus, there's bigger problems to worry about, like therapy. So our main protagonist Joe is starting to regret going on a kill streak and killing 18 people. For the daughter that looks like she doesn't even like him anymore.
Help.
So he pays for the therapy with some weed, and what does he get in return?
I have the most boring problem in the world. Oh, 19-year-old daughter, she's acting toward me like every 19-year-old daughter has ever acted toward their dad, ever. What is this, our 5th session? Are you just gonna keep grouching on like this?
I'm sitting here like, bruh, Joe, take your flipping weed back, stop being a little pussy, and smoke the Cali in her face. This miserable bitch has the nerve to say your problems are insignificant. What the fuck? Anyway, so why is she acting like this? Cause I told you, this nigga's on a generational kill streak because he killed her husband as well. So it turns out this miserable old hag is not a miserable old hag for no reason. Isn't it ironic? The therapist needs therapy. So why did he pick her as his therapist? We do not know. So in the game, the conversation doesn't take place with a therapist, it takes place with his brother. And people argue that Joe looks like a bitch in the show because he would never confess his feelings blah 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 to some random stranger. You see, me personally, I don't think he's a bitch, but I do think he's a pussy for not taking his weed back from this terrible therapist. People screaming character assassination, he'll never go see a therapist. He's been in a zombie apocalypse for 25 years. His daughter was killed on the first day. Why would he go see a therapist? Which is true.
I saved her.
So it turns out he's not actually guilty about going on a kill streak and killing all 18 people, including Abby's dad. Lord knows he'll do it again because he saved her, and he just wants to spend time with his adopted daughter, who's too busy smacking her lips against my Latino waifu.
It's a family event.
You kissed her. Wow, Ellie, come on. We've been broken up 1 week and you made a move on her?
Yo, I be seeing too many Asians in media getting cucked like it's a flipping sport, bro. I've seen Miss Amaranth's husband, I've seen Sneeko, I've seen Kenny, now I've seen this flipping dude, what's his name? Anyway, this chick Ellie's personality is insufferable. I don't know if I've been memory right, but I don't remember her being this much of a fucking brat in season 1.
I know what happened last night. Can you shut the fuck?
So I had to do some research, and it turns out she's not a brat in the games. So why are they making her a brat in the show? You see, my young boy, I have a theory. My theory is, because she looks like a child, we might as well make her act like a child, but not just any old child. Let's make her a stupid child.
Very Ellie of you.
Suck my dick.
Anyway, I'll talk about her personality as the story progresses, but now let's talk about episode 2, the most controversial episode. This shit was controversial in the games, and now it's controversial in the show. What happened, bro? Let me break it down. Out of nowhere, zombies start attacking the establishment that Joe is settled at. We have a young Abby that's doing cardio from the zombies instead of fucking bulking. But anyhow, after failing cardio, we have Death knocking at her door. She's about to die, but guess who comes to save the day? The main man himself, Joe, the protagonist, the man that sent her father to the gulag.
Run! That way!
I'm sitting here like, what a coincidence, bruh. This is a 1 in a billion chance. The girl that lost her father gets to meet the man that killed her father. Admittedly, she was looking for him for 5 years, but anyhow, I'm like, oh, this is cute. He saved her. She's gonna realize he's not a bad person. Oh, this is cute. She sees that he's taking care of another little girl. Oh, this is cute. She's gonna realize revenge isn't the answer. Violence only leads to more violence. Of course she's not gonna do it. She's forgotten all about her father, and now she's focused on this nigga's sex appeal.
You actually are pretty handsome.
I'm in denial. I'm like, I knew you wasn't about that life, bitch. He saved your life.
What life?
I'm like, what the fuck? Is anybody seeing this? He made this dude a cripple? But then again, I was in denial. I was wrong. I had no idea Abby was about that life.
Yeah, it's funny. I've waited so...
Just shut the fuck up and do it already.
With every stroke she gave him, I was still in denial. That was until Ellie came in to save the day. And that's when I truly knew this nigga was fucked. And Joe, our main protagonist, was dead. So we had zombies attacking Joe and his brother's home. We had Abby dodging zombies. We had some great acting from this chick. And now our main protagonist, the guy we've been watching since season 1, is dead. And now I want this bitch dead. The fuck? Episode 2! Now, remember what I said. Could they make you understand Abby? Could they make you care about Abby? And could they make you forgive Abby for putting Joe down like a dog?
Getting real tired of you ducking me, man. Yeah?
Oh my god.
Yeah, I understand though. Joe did finesse your whole squad and your dad. But do I care? Bitch, I don't even know your flipping surname. Can I forgive her? Meh, she hasn't even shown any likable qualities yet. And I haven't even seen her. But the gamers, they've seen enough of her. You see, in the game, they pretty much killed Joe exactly like this. But the final hit added with a bit of backswing instead of stabbing. Tommy is there instead of Dina, and the zombie attack doesn't even flipping happen. But what happens is, after making you watch Abby put Joe down like a dog, they make you play 10 hours of her. They force you to like her.
10 hours of Abby? 10?
And some people just couldn't bring themselves to do it. You go from playing your favorite character to playing your most hated character. And that's not a very fun experience. Why did they do it? Because they want you to walk a mile in her shoes and empathize with her, feel what she feels. The best comparison I can give you for how they wanted you to feel about Abby in The Last of Us is Gabby from Attack on Titan. Both have similar names, both seen as bitches, both suffer because of our main protagonists. Abby, Joel Miller, Gabby, Eren Yeager. Father, dead. Irrelevant side characters, dead. I have a feeling that you probably hate Abby more than you hate Gabby, and I actually like Gabby, mainly because they made her mad likable before she did anything too crazy. And that's why they probably added that scene in the beginning, because they were scared of people grabbing their own shotguns and blasting her head off. Because without that scene, Abby is even more unlikable, more unempathizable.
How you kill a beloved character is important, especially if that character is the main character that people care about. Nobody cares about Abby!
And people didn't like the added scene because it ruined the surprise, and I'm like, I don't want a fucking surprise. What, you want me to have a heart attack instead? That shit was fucking gruesome, bro. And I really didn't think this bitch had the cojones, the balls to do it, bro. But I love being proved wrong. I know a lot of people didn't like the fact that the main character died, but I actually kind of liked it, even though it made me sad. Because too many times do I see main characters walking around like they're untouchable, but in this instance, this guy is very much touchable. And I'm like, shit, I thought this nigga was gonna get a redemption arc, but all he got was an early grave. But there is a problem, and this problem is the reason why most writers don't kill off their main characters. Especially this early when the story hasn't even fucking finished. You see, when you brutalize, murder your main character, yeah, you're brave, I can give you that. But what the fuck are you left with? So clearly, this chick has seen some shit and she wants revenge.
Go to Seattle and kill Abby.
Her pseudo father is dead, just like how Abby's father is dead. They have a council meeting, but everybody around here is being a flipping pussy, including Joe's brother.
My God, somebody shoots your brother. You want to take the locks off your doors? Grow up! You idiots. They'll come back. They'll come back because we didn't make them pay. Bunch of goddamn victims.
And for some reason, only the bigot knows what time it is. And what time is it? It's lesbian adventure time! Revenge mission is in session. And these bitches is cooked. Why? Because one of them doesn't even know how to flip and triangulate, and the other is too busy thinking about how good her kissing is. And I'm like, the problem isn't your kissing, babes. The problem is I think I can bench both of you, bro, with one hand. Like, bruh. This is a very sorry revenge squad. If I was Joe and I saw these kids were coming to avenge me, bruh, somebody just kill me again. Like, god damn, I bet the old man is rolling in his grave.
'Cause I'm blind to it all in my mind.
Episode 4. This chick is a whore. Hella shit I see, I try to ignore, bruh. She's not really a whore, but whore rhymes with 4. So I ignored Drake and Josh, and I ignored two 19-year-olds trying to take on a fucking army, believing they're going on a suicide mission. But I can't ignore this shit that happens. So this chick starts singing Take Me On, and then all of a sudden this chick starts crying while I'm here like, put down the guitar, bruh, shit. Fast forward, while trying to look for Joe's killer, they end up in this dump, and she chokes this motherfucker out, then gives him a South London stabbing. Everyone says this is unrealistic, she's 4'11", this guy could fucking suplex her. And I'm like, you're right, but this shit is nothing compared to what happens next in terms of controversy. So there's a zombie chase scene, and these kids can't even hop a fence, and a zombie comes and takes a little nibble out of Ellie's arm. Dina sees this shit, but lucky for Ellie, she's immune. But Dina don't believe this shit, so she pulls out the blicky. Dina's like, say goodbye. Ellie's like, no, I'm immune. You have to believe me. And eventually, she does. But after this stressful situation, she can't help but tell us the good news.
I'm pregnant.
Psych, I lied. She told us terrible news. And the finger blaster 9000 activities begin. I'm sitting here like, what? No! No, you just gave her zombie AIDS, you idiot. This is a zombie apocalypse. She's running away from zombies. She just touched every single goddamn rusty pole you can see. We have to pray that she sterilized her hands off screen. Because as soon as she drops the good news, she starts blasting her shit, bro. She was literally bitten a couple of hours ago, bro. And to add icing onto the cake.
We're all having a baby.
And with the cherry on top, Jesse's cucking humiliation ritual is now done. Now, why is this shit seen as controversial? Isn't it obvious? So in the games, the sex scene happens way before they even set out on their adventures. So obviously, people find the placement of this sex scene quite distasteful. I found it hilarious because you can't make this shit up, bro. The problem really isn't the sex itself, it's more of the reaction to the pregnancy news with sex. Because in the games, Ellie is furious that Dina came on the mission knowing that she was pregnant, making the situation to get revenge for Joe way harder than it needed to be. Because now you're a flipping burden.
I didn't want to be a burden. Well, you're a burden now, aren't you?
Her anger at this reveal makes it very clear that she's very serious about avenging Joel. But in the TV show, she's like, we're all having a baby. And that makes the revenge mission all seem like some one big fucking joke. And that's why people really wasn't fucking with this episode. Me personally, I knew these kids weren't about it in episode 3. And like I said before, when you kill off a major main character, what the fuck are you left with? Lesbian adventures. And not a lot of people were fucking with that shit. The Ellie-Dina relationship wasn't as good as the Ellie-Joel relationship. And I'm seeing niggas crucify this chick saying it's bad acting. Bro, this is clearly bad writing. Not a single fucking Leonardo DiCaprio could save this shit, bro.
I'm triangulating. Do you know how that works? Yes. Triangles.
Oh my god, bro, these chicks are so lame. How are they still alive? Anyway, in this episode, they're gonna defy the odds, do the impossible, and try sneak past the army by trying to hide in a zombie-ridden building. I don't know why they think that's a good idea. Did I mention this chick is still pregnant? Abort the mission or abort the baby, pick one. So they're doing this to find Nora, Abby's friend who witnessed Abby do the butchering, so they can find Abby and kill her.
Where she is, and maybe I let you go.
How do they know where this slaphead is located? Because they're all idiots. How does this cuck Jesse know where Ellie and Dina are located? Because they're all idiots. How does Ellie miss every fucking shot? How does this chick get trapped in her own fucking home? Because they're all idiots. Anyway, Ellie gets Nora trapped and starts mean mugging her, talking about where's Abby? Where is she? Where is she? You fucking slaphead! Give me that bitch's location right now! Where is she? Now for the controversy. 1 minute she's a bubbly little girl talking about you love me. Next minute she's a fucking psycho. I'm not gonna lie, I think this chick should have been a psycho the minute that nigga got whacked, bro. Cause sometimes I'm literally contemplating being like, yo, you remember what happened to your flipping father? Like even Dina be sometimes more about it, and she dragged her dumb pregnant ass here. In the games, Ellie's way more consumed by revenge and she doesn't really bust jokes like that. Dina be the one that be busting the jokes, bro. And that shit just be irritating the gamers that actually played The Last of Us 2 and enjoyed it. I'm just sitting here wondering how these chicks are fucking still alive. Especially this chick, she's been bitten like 1,000 times. Now episode 6. So in this episode, we start off with a flashback of Joel's childhood, and his father was a police officer, and I thought he was gonna put belt to ass, pistol to head, but instead, he just gives him a beer and walks away. But not before telling him if he has kids of his own, I hope you do a better job than me. And guess what? He does, and how do we know? Because this whole episode is a flashback of how great of a father Joel is. He gets her a guitar, he gets her a nice juicy cake, and lets her hop on the dinosaur. Lets her pretend her life isn't miserable and lets her become an astronaut. But then she grows up and she starts scissoring.
Joel, what the fuck?
Joel's like, what is this gay shit?
Exactly.
I didn't sign up for this. Why you got a fucking tattoo? Well, why did you kill the Firefly, huh? Why did you kill them 18 people? Then we find out why the therapist's husband, Eugene, got shot the fuck up. Because he was gonna become a flippin' zombie. And she's like, Joel, please spare him. Let him at least see his wife before he dies. And then Joe's like, sure. Psych, nigga. Say goodbye. Because of this, now Joe has to come up with a devious lie.
And he ended it himself.
And then Ellie is a goddamn flippin' snitch.
That's not what happened.
Joel shot him in the head.
Bitch, are you dumb, dum, 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 dum?
So I'm gonna give you one last chance. If you lie to me again, we're done.
This chick finally grows a vagina. I mean a dick, and confronts Joel about what happened to the people he killed. What is the truth? Tell me the truth. I know the truth. Presses his shit and his bitch ass starts crying.
Would have killed you.
Then I was supposed to die. That was my purpose. My life would have fucking mattered, but you took that from me.
If you should ever have one of your own, I hope you do a little better than me.
And then we got Joel tearing up like a fucking bitch.
I thought this was one of the better episodes until the part on the porch where he was like, yes, the cure was guaranteed. Everybody would have been saved if you died. I fucking shot them anyway, which made him look like an asshole because the cure was never guaranteed if you died. And it'd be making Joe look like a bad person that does bad things when in actuality, he's a good person that just does the hard things that sometimes tend to be very bad. Like Abby's dad, for instance. And gamers are not a very big fan of the hard changes they did with the adaptation. They ended up making Joe look like a fucking bigot. And in the game, the therapist's husband died of natural causes. So in the show, it just makes Joel look like a flipping asshole. And the porch scene that was meant to happen at the end of the show like it did in the game actually happened in the middle of the show. And people are like, what? Because it kind of ruins the impact the original game had with its ending, because now we've seen the porch scene happen. I can't really explain it without spoiling it for TV show viewers. So now we're on to episode 7, the finale.
And I bet she even tells you things she wouldn't tell me. Like how she's pregnant.
So Dina doesn't tell Jesse that she's pregnant with his child. Why? Because why take plan B when you could just simply plan your suicide mission? So in this episode, we have the dumbass getting bitched by the cuck.
Because of you, we're stuck in a war zone.
And then you think to yourself, the dumbass can't get possibly more dumb. Then you see her trying 2v6 the 6-man squad. Somebody pistol whip this chick, bro. This chick Ellie is moving like an idiot sandwich, bro. Even Jesse's had enough of this shit.
Listen, about me and her, I don't really know what to say.
Oh my god, you just hit with the silence the king is talking hand gesture, bro. Anyway, the slaphead tells Ellie that Abby's in the aquarium.
Oh, she's in
Why
the
does she
aquarium.
believe it?
It's too far to swim. We need a boat.
What are you talking about?
What?
Oh, Tommy's over there. That's where we're going.
You don't know that's him.
You don't know that's him. You don't even know if Abby's in the aquarium. So she abandons Jesse and Tommy because she knows where Abby is. And I'm like, you know nothing. But you do know your way around a pussy, I'll give you that.
We're gonna be talking about the pussy. We'll be talking about the pussy. Do you find it amusing that we'll be talking about the pussy?
So the suicide mission is reaching its climax, and by God's grace, she finds a boat. She pulls out the pistol to steal it, and I'm like, you ain't gonna pull off 2 headshots in a row. I haven't even seen you hit 1. But she's saved by convenience, and she gets to go on the boat. But inconveniently, there's a wave. Cowabunga, dude! But conveniently she survives. But inconveniently she gets hanged like a Christmas tree. But conveniently she survives. What was the point of that? We do not know. But she's sneaking with the flashlight on, and then she ends up finding Abby's friends.
Hands up. Where's Abby?
You gotta be kidding me.
Dude tries to reach for the pistol, and Ellie's like, you ain't fast enough. Bang, the bullets hit both of them. But it turns out it's a 3-for-1 special because the bitch is pregnant. We have another pregnant bitch in the apocalypse. What happens is Ellie shoots this chick, doesn't know she's pregnant, and the chick is like, Transverse, please save the baby. Transverse, Transverse, Transverse. And Ellie's like, Transformer? Anyway, she fails to save the baby. She cries about being a failure. She wants to go home, and then they hear a sound. And then guess who comes to spin the block? Abby
I let you live,
has spun the block.
and you wasted it.
No. Wait.
That was the cliffhanger. Yikes. So the comparisons to the video games are as follows. Jesse doesn't treat Ellie like a little brat, and Ellie doesn't sound like a little brat. Oh, and did I mention this chick is supposed to be on anabolic steroids? It's a shame because her muscles are as dead as her father. Anyway, pour one out for Jesse because even in death, he will still be cucked. And he will be screaming from the heavens as he's forced to watch Ellie raise his child. I'm sorry, bro, because there can only be one dad. So that was the final episode of season 2. Am I gonna wait another 3 years to watch 7 episodes? Is Isabella Merced gonna respond to my DMs? I don't know, bro. So in conclusion, the most controversial show is controversial because it didn't live up to the adaptation. And it's not a surprise because if you don't stay faithful to the source material, you'll always end up pissing people off. But I will cut people some slack because not a lot of people even like the game that the show was based on. And because of that, they tried to implement changes, but unfortunately, them changes actually ended up pissing off the people that actually liked the game it was based on.
Suck my dick.
So therefore, it ended up being a bad adaptation. I still think it's a decent show if you just ignore all the cringe.
You love me.
So as a lesson, if you try to appeal to everybody, you end up appealing to nobody. And as a TV show viewer, I stand by it. I thought Joe dying was great until I saw this bullshit. Alright, now I'm out. Thanks for wasting your time, bro. Peace.